Hi, I'm Miss Pozak and I'm teaching reading. This week we are talking about text-to-text connections. Remember, a text-to-text connection is whenever you're reading something and think, hey, that reminds me of this other book. You already know the story of Little Red Riding Hood. You know, where she goes in the forest with a basket of sweets for her grandma and the big bad wolf comes along? If you need a refresher, there's a link in the description with that read aloud. Today we'll be reading this book, Little Red and the Very Hungry Lion by Alex T. Smith. It's a retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale, but there's a couple things that are different. So while I'm reading, I want you to think about what's the same in this book as the original fairy tale and what's different from the original fairy tale. Let's get started. Little Red and the Very Hungry Lion. This is Little Red. Today she is going to be gobbled up by a lion. This is the lion. Well, that's what he thinks is going to happen anyway. One hot morning, Auntie Rosie woke up covered in spots. There was only one thing for them: spot medicine. Ring, 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 ring. Oh dear, said Little Red when she heard the news. I'll come right away. So she put some spot medicine in her basket and she waved goodbye to her daddy. It was a long way to Auntie Rosie's house. Little Red walked under the giraffes, over the sleepy crocodiles, and past the chattering monkeys. She crept around the termite mounds and under the leaping gazelles, and then caught a ride from an elephant. She wiggled her way under the hippos and warthogs, and she waved hello to the meerkats. Then she sat down in the shade of a very shady tree, and that's when the lion arrived. The Very Hungry Lion. Oh, hello, purred the lion. Where are you going? To visit my auntie who's covered in spots, said Little Red. In the time it took for his tummy to rumble, the Very Hungry Lion had cooked up a very naughty plan. My very clever plan. 1. Sneak off to Auntie Rosie's house. 2. Hide her in a cabinet. 3. Dress up as Auntie Rosie. 4. Wait for a bit. 5. Jump up and eat Little Red. 6. Eat Auntie Rosie for dessert. Well done, you are a very clever lion. And he rushed off to put his plan in action. When he arrived, the Very Hungry Lion stuffed Auntie Rosie in a cabinet and he locked the door. Then he squeezed himself into one of her nightgowns and he covered himself all over in spots. Of course, when Little Red arrived, she realized right away it wasn't Auntie Rosie sitting in the bed. She quickly looked around and spotted her auntie peeking through a gap in the cabinet. Then Little Red decided that she was going to teach the naughty lion a lesson. Oh, Auntie, cried Little Red, what tangled hair you have! And before the Very Hungry Lion could even lick his lips, Little Red had brushed and combed and twisted and braided until the lion had a very lovely new look. This had not been part of the lion's plan. So he opened his mouth wide. Ah, disgusting, shouted Little Red. What gigantic, grimy teeth you have, Auntie! Ugh. We're gonna go ahead and pause there. Remember, there's a link in the description that will have the rest of that story and also the original fairy tale as well. So while I was reading, did you notice some things that were the same in that story as the original fairy tale? Did you notice some things that were different? Today in reading, you will describe one thing that is the same in this story and the original fairy tale, and one thing that is different from the original fairy tale. You can do this by either making a video or writing out the description and posting a picture on Class Dojo. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with.